Hello, my name is Scott Holmes, and I'm the Executive Vice President at ABI. Today I'm going to do a white booth walkthrough of the Gravel Rascal, the most innovative pull-behind ground prep tool on the market today. You see, the difference between ABI and all of our competitors isn't just that we have a better product, but our owners and our board members have been in the ground preparation business and owned million-dollar companies, preparing the ground for seed and sod and horse arenas and gravel roads, and they've been doing this for cumulatively over 100 years. So we're not just CAD engineers sitting behind a desk designing a tool that might do the job. We're actually men who have been in the business for over 100 years and designed innovative tools that will get the job done, because we guarantee it. I'm going to start with a quick overview of the Gravel Rascal and all the components that make it work. First, the Gravel Rascal is a pull-behind tool, not a three-point tractor tool, but a pull-behind tool made for ATVs and UTVs, small tractors, or even pickup trucks. So we start with a pull-behind hitch, which is a drop pin hitch. Then you have stabilizing and transport and gauge wheels. These are wheels that stabilize the depth of loosening material and allow you to transport the Gravel Rascal from one location to another. Behind that is our scar fires, our rippers, and they're very uniquely designed, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but that's the part of the Gravel Rascal that breaks up the hard pan, the gravel road, the trails, the riding arena, and loosens that material, allowing you to grade, which then leads us to our comb and our finish rake, which breaks up clumps of material, but uniquely has the ability to pivot into a 90-degree blade and allow you to move large material from one location to another, all controlled with either a manual or electric actuator, and that is an overview of the Gravel Rascal. Before getting to the ground contact points, let's talk about the hookup of the Gravel Rascal. As I mentioned earlier, the Gravel Rascal is a pull-behind ground preparation tool. So we have a drop pin clevis hitch that allows you to drop a pin in to a bumper or a hitch. Now we can add a 2-inch ball, whatever size ball you want to this, but I'll be honest with you, most pull-behind tools need to have more movement than what a ball will allow. But if you have a ball hitch and you need a ball receiver put on the drop pin hitch, we can do that for you. So that's how you hook the Gravel Rascal up to your ATV or UTV. And of course, if you have the electric actuator option, you're going to have an electrical hookup that you connect to your ATV or UTV. The first component of the Gravel Rascal that comes into contact with the ground is our stabilizing and transport wheels. These wheels are actual real tires. They're not little toy tires, caster tires like many of our competitors, but these are substantial, weight-bearing flotation tires. Our tires are more than just transport tires. Most of our competitors simply have tires that will transport their tool from one location to another. But we actually have flotation tires that will stabilize the loosening of the Gravel Rascal, and that's an important feature because you don't want to go too deep. You don't want to get into a base of a road or a base of an arena. You want to be able to loosen at the depth that you need, keep it consistent so your potholes won't come back, and you have a consistent loose material so that you can do grading with the finish comb. The Gravel Rascal tires consist of an axle, a hub, greasable bearings, and they're all replaceable. So if you damage your tire, get a flat in your tire, and you need to replace it, you simply drop the pin out, slide the axle out, and repair your tire. Behind the stabilizing and transport wheels come our scar fires, or our ripping teeth, and you'll notice these are significant loosening tools. These are not little tiny grooming rods that maybe are an inch or a half an inch deep. Somebody's gonna have to explain to me how you can loosen 2 to 3 inches, which you need to do in order to have loose material to move and to grade. How you can do that with little tiny scarifying teeth, I just don't get it. You actually need substantial scar fires or rippers to actually loosen the right amount of material so that you can grade. One of the other features of our scar fires or ripping teeth is that you can control the depth below the frame of the Gravel Rascal. This is critical for flow of material. Some of our competitors say that, well, just to get more depth, you just tip the tool forward and try and grind those little tiny teeth deeper and deeper into the ground. But all you're doing is lowering the frame. And so you're becoming a plow. You're just going to push material forward. You need to be able to loosen below the frame, and with the adjustable scar fires and multiple holes, you can get anywhere from 0 to 7 inches of depth below the frame of the Gravel Rascal. Key difference between us and our competitors. Now, as you know, not all material is equal. You may have a softer gravel road, a sand, or you might have a clay, or you might have a material that gets really hard and compacted by a parking lot that you've traveled over with semi-trucks. You've got to have some variable in how to loosen this hard pan material. There are a couple ways that the Gravel Rascal scar fires or ripping teeth can break up this hard compacted material, if that's the situation that you have. The first way that we do that is by the design and the angle in which these teeth come into the ground. Anytime that you have ripping teeth or loosening teeth and they're straight up and down and they're just riding on top of a surface, if that's a hard compacted surface, they're just going to ride. And as you hit a hard packed surface, the tool is going to actually ride up. And you may have experienced this with box scrapers or other smaller, lightweight tools. But with the ripping teeth of the Gravel Rascal, they come in at about a 45-degree angle. So they're being sucked into the ground as your ATV or your UTV is pulling them. This allows all the weight of the Gravel Rascal to penetrate that hard packed surface because of the angle in which these teeth come into the ground. They're not straight up and down bouncing on top. These teeth are coming in at a 45-degree angle, and all the weight is right on those tips, and it's breaking up the hardest compacted material. The second way that these scar fires or rippers will get into a hard packed surface is by adjusting the gold top link here in the middle of the tool. By adjusting this top link in and out, it changes the pitch of the tube, which changes the pitch of the scar fires or the rippers. Therefore, if you want more ripping action or you want them to be more passive, just adjust that top link to get the effect that you need. These scar fires or rippers come in two components. You have a shank and you have a replaceable tip. You'll notice that our scar fires don't have a shear pin. You don't need one. Shear pins are designed for tools that when you hit a hard spot or a rock, it breaks the shear pin and your tool is down. You're actually out of business. You can't get your job done. But the only reason they do it is because of their design. If our competitors didn't have shear pins and they hit a rock or a hard spot, they might bend the frame. That's why they have to have it, but not with the Gravel Rascal. This is a heavy-duty, well-built machine that doesn't require shear pins on the scar fires. So you can break up the hardest gravel road, parking lot, trails, roots, large rocks, and you never have to worry about the tool breaking down. These scar fires will break up any condition, and we guarantee it. The last component that makes up this impressive tool called the Gravel Rascal is our innovative pivoting comb. This comb, when put in the standard position, pulverizes and breaks up the clumps of material left behind by the scar fires or the ripping teeth, and smooths out the surface, filling in small leftover holes and low spots. What makes the finish rake or the comb of the Gravel Rascal so unique and innovative is that by cranking out the jack that connects to the finish rake, you're able to pivot it and turn it into a 90-degree blade. Nobody on the market has the ability to move material like the Gravel Rascal. You can certainly do it with a 3-point tool, but with a pull-behind tool for an ATV or a UTV, there is no other competitor that can move the amount of material that the Gravel Rascal can. You put the comb into the 90-degree angle, you use your electric actuator from the seat of your tractor, and after you've loosened the material with significant ripping teeth, you can now move large amounts of material, knocking off high spots and dropping it, literally dropping it like a 3-point into low spots. No other tool in the market will do it, and you need it to effectively repair a gravel road or parking lot. The finish rake comes in 1-foot sections that are easily replaceable. So as you're wearing the finish rake down by going over the abrasive gravel road over 6 months, a year, 2 years, however long the finish rake will last for you, you can actually reverse that finish rake and get twice the life out of it. And then when it is time to replace it, simply buy them in 1-foot sections, put them on in a matter of minutes, and your Gravel Rascal is as good as new. Now that you know how the Gravel Rascal works, let me tell you how it's made. I guarantee that you will not find a better quality ATV, UTV, pull-behind ground prep tool on the market today. The quality of the steel and the quality of the components and the manufacturing process and skill to put this product together is second to none in the marketplace. The weight and the ability to actually break up a hard pan and sustain and be able to handle that kind of torque won't be found on any tool except the Gravel Rascal. The finish rake is made out of 1/2-inch abrasive-resistant steel, not aluminum like many of our competitors want you to believe. The jack that controls the angle of the finish rake is a 2,000-pound crank jack. Way overkill, but necessary when you want something to last a long time. Our optional electric actuator is 4 to 6 times the actuator of any of our competitors. With far more stroke, speed, and precision, this actuator actually allows you to grade material on the fly. Our competitors' actuators are extraordinarily slow, small stroke, and basically designed just to barely raise the tool off the ground so that you can turn around, but it takes forever. Our actuator, you can actually manipulate it on the move. The frame of the Gravel Rascal is completely welded. You'll see bolts at the hinge points and replacement component points, but the frame itself is welded together and there is no assembly required. All ABI products are manufactured in a 700,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility employing hundreds of qualified U.S. workers. Steel is brought in by the rail, stored indoors, cut and milled to specification, and moved about the facility via massive overhead programmable cranes. These overhead cranes bring the materials to the welding stations that employ both robotic and conventional welding. The steel components then go through a state-of-the-art cleaning with 2 acid washes and sandblasting. The completed components are then given an architectural grade powder coating. Assembly is then completed by specially trained workers, and all this is completed in-house, so quality is controlled throughout manufacturing. Not all powder coating processes are created equal, but you can rest assured that the multi-step powder coating process used on ABI products is second to none. Proper material selection, roof storage, innovative cleaning and preparation, state-of-the-art equipment, and industry-leading trade secret techniques enable ABI to offer a true architectural grade powder coating on all products. So now you know that the Gravel Rascal is in a class all of its own. At ABI, we sell the Gravel Rascal direct to you, the end user. We don't have a middleman, there's no middle markup. We sell directly to you. In order to make sure that you have the right piece of equipment with the right options and the right size, there are just several questions that we need to ask you and get answers back from you. So we ask that you call our toll-free number, 877-788-7253, speak with one of our equipment specialists, and they will help you discern what your needs are, what size tow vehicle you have, what options you need, and they will give you an official quote, factory direct, so that you get the Gravel Rascal you need at the best price.